The bishop is a fool, and so is anyone who listens to him.
Pietro, that is no way to talk about one of God's servants.
Servant. If only I can make such a fabulous living as a servant.
If only you could care about something other than money.
But I do, Pika. I do. I care when others have too much of it, and I don't have enough of it.
That is caring only about money.
I care about you, Pika. I care about Giovanni. That is why I have to care about money, because you want to give money to the bishop whenever he asks for it. And Giovanni wants to spend money without ever thinking about where it comes from.
It was you, Pietro, who gave Giovanni his absurd love for all the fine French things. French poetry, French songs, French clothing, French wine. You are the reason everyone calls our son Francis.
Well, of course I love French things. That's why I married you.
Ha! It turns out your French tastes have cost you, and now you complain.
It is not his love for Francis the problem. It is not his love for beauty. It's that he will not accept responsibility. He cannot expect to live a life of pleasure without being willing to work for it. But I will deal with the boy. You're changing the subject.
No, you changed the subject. We were talking about the bishop, and you brought up money.
Because that is the subject the bishop is going to bring up. Why else would he want to come here to our house? Do you think he's coming to ask our advice? How to redecorate the cathedral?
Who knows? Perhaps he wants to do something in a more French style.
Ha! As long as he doesn't expect us to pay for it. But why is he coming here?
Because obviously it's something important.
Or he wants us to think it's something important. It's 10 o'clock at night.
That's him.
Just so you know, Pika, I'm not going to give him anything he asked for.
You don't even know what he's going to ask for.
Yes, I do. The only thing I don't know is the amount.
Your Excellency, we are so honored.
Thank you, Madame Bernardone.
Good evening, Excellency.
I apologize, Master Bernardone, for coming at so late an hour. I'm very grateful you have agreed to receive me.
I suppose heaven keeps its own hours.
Heaven, unlike purgatory, has no hours. But it is not so much an ecclesiastical reason that impels me to intrude on you tonight. It is, alas, a political one.
I trust that since you say political, this news bears no reference to Giovanni. He's not causing political incidents now, too.
That wandering minstrel of yours may be a bit too frivolous, but he's not really a troublemaker.
He causes us enough trouble. He's not taking life seriously. He's not come home before midnight, in spite of his promises to his mother and me.
Master Bernardone, my news is very serious. It concerns Perugia.
What of that cursed northern state?
Unrest has been brewing for some time, and tonight messengers arrived. Perugia is amassing arms and gathering money from its nobles. It takes no effort to guess the cause. Old rivalry has begun to churn again. I see impending conflict, Bernardone. Very impending.
So I've heard. But what is it to me? I am no noble, only an honest and successful merchant.
Successful indeed, Bernardone. You are as wealthy as many of the nobles in Assisi.
I hope you're not going to ask for money, Your Excellency. As you know, I pay my tithe.
Yes, you do. But when was the last time you attended Mass?
Is this the test of my memory? I thought you said your visit was not ecclesiastical.
We are facing the very real prospect of war, and in a time of war, more is always needed.
Your Excellency, I mean disrespect, but...
Your Excellency, forgive me for interrupting my husband, but when he says he means no disrespect, he usually follows the remark with a tirade of profound disrespect.
Woman, do not speak on my behalf!
Master Bernardone, I understand that you have a living to make, and I do not expect what you cannot comfortably give. Indeed, I hope very much the city will have no need of it. I only came here tonight to ensure that, should the need arise, you would be willing to assist in financing the war.
Is the church not rich enough already?
The church will do what it can, but only so much of church funds can be allowed for this. I am here on behalf of the city. I am gathering pledgings of backings from its public leaders. If it improves your mood, the Schifi family will undoubtedly put double or triple your contribution.
I will not refuse you, Excellency, out of love for my wife. But I promise only what I choose to provide.
That is usually enough. You have both the church's and the city's gratitude. But you must understand, the contribution will probably be more than just money. The army needs strong, young men.
Enlist Giovanni? What do you suggest, Excellency?
Only that if you and your husband wish for your son to become more serious, perhaps Francis would benefit from such an endeavor. It might teach him that there's more to life than singing the night away.
Songs are song of ladies fair, and angels all with golden hair, but none a take so foul and great as the Holy Lady of the Lake. Songs are sung of ladies fair, and angels all with golden hair, but none attains so foul and great as the holy lady of the lake. When once her eyes upon me lay, I knew that she was bound to stay. Oh, if only I had known how to swim to reach her throne. When once her eyes upon me lay, I knew that she was bound to stay. Oh, if only I had known.
Enough! Enough of this! I apologize that I must be the voice of this revelry's death knell. But my friend Francis here has promised his kind mother to be home by midnight. And already I have failed her by not holding him to it.
Alas, my good men and ladies, but my overly wet friend here is right. We should all be retiring soon. However, before such time, I would like to raise a toast. First, to revelry and good cheer. Yeah! Second, to the full moon who will lead us home tonight by her silvery rays. Yeah! And lastly, to a certain beautiful young woman to whom I would very much like to direct her own personal song at some future date. And to life! To life! To life. Felicia, wait.
Lord Francis Bernardone, will you ever leave?
Hush, Bernard. Giovanni will leave in a moment.
I just wanted to say goodnight personally, my lady.
My father waits for me outside, Francis. Now is not the time for your princely pretenses.
I'm no prince,
Although you do fancy yourself one.
but you are the princess of beauty who rivals Sister Moon.
I suppose you must have me then, as she is your sister.
Well,
You are such a fool, you are, Francis. But a charming one. Maybe someday I'll take the time to endure more of your foolishness. Good night, Giovanni de Pietro de Bernardone.
Good night, Mistress Felicia.
good night, Lady Felicia. She is very beautiful.
Yes, and sensible too. You are a fool. One smile and a brief exchange of words, and you think it's love.
Bernard, what can a man in love say for himself?
You seem to think it's love if a girl merely smiles at you.
Bernard, you're forgetting. I'm me. If a girl smiles at me, it probably does mean she's in love with me. Because everyone is in love with me.
Your head grows too fat.
Bernard, again, you're talking as if I'm some ordinary fellow. For most people, it would be arrogant to say what I say, but I'm only stating facts. I have not only popularity, my friend, but my dashing looks. A positive outlook, athleticism, grace, and charm. I have no need of anything, let alone humility.
Well, looks as if I won't get anywhere in curbing your ego tonight.
I'm sorry, you're welcome to try again tomorrow, Bernard. In the meantime, let me buy you another drink.
Self-important you may be, Francis, but you treat your friends well. But we must go.
One more song, Bernard. One more drink.
I have to work in the bishop's office tomorrow. You have to work in the marketplace.
Bernard.
Oh, one more then.
Master Bernardone, thank you for coming.
To what do I the pleasure, Excellency? I did not expect to see you again so soon. I trust the news is not so good.
Though my heart is heavy, I must confirm your suspicion. I do not make a habit of returning social calls only days later, except in urgent circumstances.
Does this concern a topic of the other night?
Regrettably, Perugia has declared war.
War! How dare they, the northern wretches!
They are already mobilizing men to march upon Assisi. You know what this means, Bernardone?
Yes, it means the church, fabulously wealthy as it is, expects me, an honest man, who has earned his wealth, in financing a regional conflict in which I have no stake.
The church is also donating much to the cause.
With my money!
Bernardone, I have already explained to
And
you.
I have already told you I would give you more. What do you want now? My wife is not here to restrain me, so let me tell you plainly. I'm sick and tired of the priest and the bishop draining me dry, sitting aloof above the golden clouds, selling the sacraments. Your monasteries are full to bursting with men, young and old, who spend their lives in prayer, but meanwhile cared for by the citizens' tithes. They eat and drink like kings. And in the nunnery, your women live as ornamental pigs, growing fat while doing God's work of prayer. For what? And now the city goes to war, and the knights you send will be the best outfitted of all the army. You who live in a castle, eating from gold plates, now come to me, an honest man, to ask the bankroll of war from my wealth?
I did not invite you here to insult me, Bernardone. But I hope you feel better after having vented your wrath on a successor of the apostles.
I would feel better if I didn't have to pay God's bills.
You are not the only one being asked to do this duty. Come.
Greetings, Your Excellency.
Does it taste foul?
Who is this pauper who stands here and mocks the church?
Lord Schifi, Pietro Bernardone, one of Assisi's finest cloth merchants. I invited him here tonight due to his high standing in the community. Master Bernardone, meet Lord Favorino de Schifi. I'm sure you've heard his name.
My lord.
I apologize for being late, Excellency. On my way, I was forced to stop to discipline a wayfinding encounter, stirring up a disturbance.
No matter. Your arrival is really most timely.
Very well. Business, then?
Indeed. You already know why I need you here.
Concerning finance for the war, as you know, Excellency, the city will get whatever it needs from me. I'll also be in the front lines when our army goes to battle. I consider the church's interests my own. From the silence, it seems our comrade here disapproves.
As a lord, you must fight. Bring all your bear against the Perugians. If they capture Assisi, the nobles will be the first to die. But I'm a mere merchant. Such a takeover would only provide a different clientele for me. Perhaps even a better business climate.
It is true that I'm motivated by my own interests to an extent, merchant, but I give money just as I fight in battle because it's demanded of me by courtesy for our religion.
You're intended to buy heaven, just as the church has bought you.
Perhaps I should have you whipped for your impudence until you sing louder than the young ox whose ears I boxed on the way here.
You say that miscreants was singing?
Yes, the little can sound like an angel, but what does that have to do with it?
Did you happen to learn his name?
He obviously gave me some sort of nickname, something about France, but you were surely strange.
Of course. God above and hell below. Shall they never be rid of this boy?
You mean the fool was your son?
May God strike me down before I admit it. But yes, by the devil's name, yes. The fool is my son Giovanni, though he is generally called Francis, a disgrace who will never learn.
Perhaps someday he will learn the seriousness of life, Bernardone, but he is not of importance now. We're discussing the oncoming war.
The war! The war! The boy's an impudent pup, playing at being a troubadour. The war's not consequential to me while its antics continue, but it will be for him. My son must indeed learn the seriousness of life, and we're better to learn in a battle where his life could end. Very well, Apostle. You shall have your money on this condition. I will send Francis into the army, and he will assure it that he sees battle on the front lines. He will learn, or he will die, and his father cares, little witch.
Right? But like, is the war for certain? Do our men really go to battle with Perugia?
They talk of nothing else.
But are they arming? Are they recruiting?
To look around, you would not think so. It just seems like another day in the market.
Why should a war interrupt the market? We still have to feed and clothe our families.
Yes, we feed and clothe our husbands and our sons so that we can send them off to die.
I have heard it told me that many times when one city marches on another, the battle is brief, and one side, foreseeing defeat, retreats before blood is spilled.
Let us hope it is Perugia that retreats. If Assisi retreats, could we bear the shame?
We can bear the shame better than we can bear the dead bodies.
Another! Don't touch her!
Is your departure imminent?
Tomorrow, I wish we were further off for more reasons than one.
Is there some unfinished business that needs to be attended to?
Not as you mean, though our army is strong, we are few in number. I would like to spend a few days recruiting youth for infantry. There is need there.
Are not many already enlisted?
Many are, including sons of nobility in the upper class, but Perugia is both larger and better prepared. We are going to need every possible man. I fear it will not be enough.
Don't get too close to her, she's a leper. Bless you, child. Go with God. We too live in poverty.
Ah, Mother Superior, what brings you to the market on this day?
Interest in seeing you, Lord Skeefy. We have matters to discuss.
By all means, you have my full attention, unless I may first tempt my Savior's bride with victuals.
It is not suitable.
I aim only to make you comfortable.
Very well. Those peaches over there will do. Give the money to Sister Maria, and the good sisters will handle the transaction. I have heard of the upcoming conflict with Perugia, and thought it wise to seek you out, to keep present in your mind your duties to the church.
I have not forgotten, Mother. Only last night I made promise to the bishop to give extra tithes to the war efforts.
Very kind, surely, Lord Skeefy. I only hope that in the course of such grand philanthropy, you do not allow your other weekly obligations to slip. We have a thriving abbey of nuns here in Assisi, and a downturn in revenue could cost us dearly. We own nothing, my lord, and rely upon the generosity of upstanding men like you.
I can assure you, Mother, my donations will continue as before. If you'll excuse me, Mother Superior.
Of course, my lord. You are a busy man.
Cecilia, bring the fruit.
Bernadone,
Lord Skeefy.
sorry to trouble you still further, but I would like you to accompany me to the council meeting.
Me, my Lord Emir. Merchant?
The bishop is aware of your importance, and so am I.
I needed to speak to my son. I was hoping he'd arrive by now. I'll be along presently.
Very good. In the meantime, I will release my wife from your wares. You'll be still richer than you were yesterday.
My thanks. As long as I don't have to give it all to the war effort. Pika, Lord Skeefy has requested that I attend the council meeting with him.
A dubious honor.
I agree, but there's no time to argue about it now. Tell Francis I need him home tonight. There is something very important I must tell him.
Are you going to tell me what it is first?
Of course, but not now.
You're going to enlist him. You're going to send him to the war.
I told you I'll explain later, woman. That is the end of it for now. Tend to business!
Good morning, Madame Bernadone. Lady Skeefy, what an honor to have you personally visit our stand. What lovely cloth that is. May I feel it? Of course, Lady Skeefy, only the best for you. Here, is it not soft to the fingers? Better than any of my velvet. Where do you get it? Oh, here and there. And such color, this green. My Francis chose that color. He calls it cousin moss or some such foolishness. Your son is certainly creative. When did he decide that ordinary greenery was his cousin? He has always seen the world not as something you live in so much as something you live with. He treats the moss as his friend because beauty is to be respected for its sake, and Francis loves beauty. But there's something to that, is there not? I suppose so. Francis is creative about creation. What kind of soldier do you think he will make? Yes, the war. No doubt he will develop some discipline. So he will go? I think my husband has decided as much. Francis does not know it yet. Do not let it weigh on you as too great a burden. My husband marches into battle too. It should end quickly, even if it is Assisi that retreats. Thank you, Lady Skeefy, you were comforting. And here's the lad, late as usual. This is Francis that makes the moss his cousin.
Good day, my lady. I am at your service. You wish to purchase this rag.
Francis, you fool! This is Lady Skeefy of the Skeefy noble family. Assist her and give her proper respect.
Greetings, Lady Skeefy. I am Giovanni di Pietro de Bernardone, at your esteemed service.
Your mother says you are a fool, but your manners are good.
Goodly manners for a goodly noble woman, I'm sure.
Alms?
Oh, Oh, a moment, sister. Now, which cloth was it that you wanted?
Cousin Moss,
Oh, an excellent choice.
you seem to be in an inordinate hurry.
A busy day at the market and all that, my lady. And here you are.
And how much is it?
What? Please pay my mother over there. Will there be anything else?
No, thank you. I hope I have not troubled you too much.
What? Oh, no. No trouble at all.
Looking for someone.
Yes, a lady. Felicia!
Looking for a lady.
And I have found a lady.
You still seem to be looking for someone.
She's gone.
Oh, well, I'm terribly sorry.
Wait, no, wait. It was a beggar. I simply wanted to give her something. I did not want to see her go away with nothing.
You are quite unlike anyone else, Francis.
Felicia. You haven't spoken to me since the other night at the tavern. I thought you'd lost interest.
Maybe. Or maybe I've been waiting for a certain brash young man to approach me.
I don't mean to be brash, Felicia. It just happens.
I barely know you, and even I know that's truthful.
You know me better than you think.
And I'm sure you think me better than you know.
Do all girls talk like this?
Only the smart ones, Francis.
Well, if you're clever, then you must know how I feel about you.
Not necessarily.
What?
Oh, Saints, Francis, just say the line you've been preparing.
What line?
Considering the number of girls you've pursued before, I'm sure you've got a line already.
Well,
You are such a fool, Francis.
Wait, please, Felicia. It is true that I've chased other girls before, yes, but none like you. You are as beautiful as the moon in all her splendor, and as kind and gentle as a shy doe among the trees. I think about you constantly. Will you please honor me by meeting me tonight under the arch of the west portal?
You remember your lines well, Bernardone. I suppose a meeting might not be intolerable?
Thank you and bless you, my lady. Until tonight, then.
Tonight. Don't be late, Francis.
Finally, the boy is extremely late.
Perhaps he has already heard the news and was putting off the confrontation. Bernard, what the devil? Where's Francis?
I apologize, Master Bernardone. He's not with me. I came of my own accord.
Where is he? We've been expecting him for some time to deliver some news to him.
If I had to guess, as his best friend, I would wager he's off somewhere with a girl, wooing her with poetry about her eyes and walking along in the moonlight.
With a woman? What are the boy's priorities? And its timing, it's diabolical.
Master Bernardone, I fear I may already know your news. My work in the bishop's office has informed me of Perugia's declaration and the coming conflict.
Yes, Bernard. Francis is to be a soldier in Assisi's company.
I was afraid of this. Please do not. He is as churlish a fool as ever there was.
That is why I'm sending him. He will learn discipline by the sword, or he never will.
He's brash. He'll get himself killed. No doubt at all.
Then at least your nightly festivities will be a lot quieter.
Without Francis, there will be no festivities. The whole world will be horribly empty. I cannot imagine Francis not in it.
I am worried too, Bernard, but we have to hope his guardian angel will look after him.
I'm afraid he'll wear out his guardian angel.
We have to trust God and trust his church.
Forgive me for not trusting the God-debauched priests and gold-stacking bishops.
And you work for the bishop? Well, you have your eyes open about him.
But you should not blaspheme the whole church on account of a few.
When once her eyes upon me lay,
Giovanni, you frustrating child! Where's the rascal been,
Her beauty makes my heart sing like brother swallow as he notices spring.
I told you, madame.
Silence, boy! Come sit!
Oh, is it not a glorious day? Mother, God has outdone himself this evening.
Giovanni, we would like to speak to you about a very important decision your father has reached.
Oh, if we're sharing news, then surely I must go first. Bernard, I'm about to tell you about the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Which is secondary to the most important thing. Be silent and prick up those handsome deaf ears of yours.
Father, I'm sure that whatever you have to tell me is very important, but it is not as important as what I have to tell you, so you please must let me go first.
Of all the impertinent, why should take a heavy one and second?
Why not let him tell his news?
Because it won't matter after I tell him.
I have decided to join the army. I'm going to march on Perugia, a soldier. I'm going off to claim my glory. I told you it would be big. Now, what were you going to tell me?
Good morning, Madame Bernardone. Lady Schieffi, welcome. It has been a long time. The Bernadones are purveyors of the finest fabrics in Assisi, and probably everywhere else. You are too kind, and what lovely daughters. Claire, Beatrice, and Agnes. Are you getting something for them today? Ha, if I were, I wouldn't be telling them. Go look around. Claire, keep an eye on Beatrice and Agnes. Make sure they don't run off and get lost.
Mama, shouldn't we be keeping an eye on Claire and make sure she doesn't run off and pray?
Beatrice, why do you always make fun of Claire? Just leave her alone.
All she ever wants is to be left alone.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, there is something wrong with that.
Is there something wrong with prayer?
No. If it's before meals, before bedtime, or at Holy Mass, God has given us the rest of the time for other things.
Other things?
Look at all these beautiful things.
They are beautiful.
But what?
They are just things.
Claire, you love God, but God has not made an empty world.
He made a world that points to himself. Why does everyone look the other way? She's impossible to shop for because she will not cooperate. She does not strike me as hard to please.
That is not the problem. She does not want anything. She would be content wearing the same thing every day. Nonetheless, we must start preparing her to be presented to the world.
What do you think of this?
Very nice, but I was thinking of something more green. Do you have anything like, what was it, Cousin Moss? Isn't that what your son named it? Well, what is wrong?
Nothing. It's simply that that color is my son's favorite.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Madame Bernardone. Francis went off to fight against Perugia a year ago.
The Lord gives and the Lord takes away.
No, you did not lose him to battle, did you?
Giovanni survived, but he was taken prisoner.
Oh, how terrible for you.
We keep hoping that he will be released soon, that he will come home, but nothing.
Thankfully, the fighting stopped quickly. The war did not last long, but I'm sure that's little comfort to you.
Bless you, Lady Schieffi. I'm sure Cousin Moss will be just right for a dress befitting your beautiful daughter. Claire has a kind of serenity about her. She's such a pleasing young woman. Something special about her.
Her
different.
head is in the stars, not on earth.
Well, at least she has her head in one place. My Giovanni's head is in the stars, in the hills, in the trees, in the tavern, and on the battlefield.
That must make his captivity even more unbearable.
I imagine Francis entertaining both his captors and fellow captives. I wonder if your Claire is better suited for a more captive life, as it were.
Oh no, please do not suggest what you are suggesting. I know she might seem a bit odd, but...
Not odd, but peaceful, happy.
But she is alone too much. She will be of marrying age within a year, and we must start preparing her. She is attractive and intelligent, an ideal wife. Claire is crucial for building alliances and strengthening the Schieffi family. We cannot afford to let her go to waste. Claire must marry a suitable nobleman.
Good morning.
Are you speaking to me, my lady?
Yes, I was.
Why?
Well, I looked up and you were there, so I just thought it proper to greet you.
But are you not noble?
I am, yes. But what of it?
Lady, you were the first human who has greeted me as a person for many, many months.
Does no one at the poorhouse greet you? Do you not have a family?
Lady, I'm thrown out of poorhouses. No one greets me. No one cares to greet Lucia. I'm completely alone.
Lucia, is that your name?
It was when I was human. Now I'm simply you beggar or you leper. No, stop! What are you doing? Don't you know my disease? Do not touch me!
I'm not afraid.
You're not disgusted by me?
Why should I be? Are you not a person in need like any beggar?
Other beggars cannot kill you with a touch or a cough.
Here, get yourself food and clothing.
My lady, you're an angel, are you not?
Certainly not. I am just Claire. God be with you, Lucia. I am sorry I cannot do more for you.
Claire, may your road be straight and free from doubt.
Mistress Claire.
Good morning, Bernard. On your way to the cathedral?
Yes, a bit of a late start, but I worked half the night last night.
What exactly do you do as squire to the bishop?
I help organize his household, I deliver messages, many duties that are not very interesting.
So you know His Excellency personally?
A bit. I've never been asked that question.
Is he kind? Is he gentle?
I suppose when he's baptizing children, he is. Usually he's very businesslike.
Business?
The church is his business, Mistress Claire. With so much money moving about, he has to remain aloof.
So much money. I don't understand.
Let's just say there's a reason why being squire to the bishop is a very good position.
But the church is not a business.
The workings of the church have changed. Peter supported himself by fishing as he preached the gospel, but His Excellency employs his own fishermen.
That is not how Peter became holy.
To be honest, holiness isn't exactly a defining characteristic of a bishop. The most necessary trait is political deftness.
Christ sent out his apostles with nothing but their sandals to preach the gospel and help the needy. What reason does the church have to be involved in politics when her mission is to help those in the streets that the city has left for dead?
I don't know. It's complicated. The church is modern now. It cannot afford to be as simple as it once might have been. Perhaps it has outgrown some of Christ's ideas. I must be going now. Goodbye, Mistress Claire.
The church is supposed to save souls that have fallen. But if the church falls, who will save the church?
Felicia, you're here early.
I suppose I am, but so are you. Usually you're still working in the bishop's office at this time of evening.
Not on this night. Tonight, joy and frivolity are the only occupants of my schedule.
So Francis will be here. I've only seen him 3 or 4 times since his return.
As have I.
He's changed, hasn't he?
He's still Francis, but he was a prisoner for a year. I suppose that cannot help but change a man.
It's not that. Or perhaps it is. I cannot explain it.
He's still madly in love with you, Felicia.
And all his ladies.
But surely you cannot be jealous of his other ladies. The moon is one of his ladies. The mountains are his ladies. Even sparrows are his ladies. It seems every color is one of his ladies. He is a poet. Everything is an inspiration to him.
He falls in love too easily.
The warrior charges in! Ready for battle.
Felicia, my love. Bernard, my friend.
Francis, still fancying yourself a warrior? You haven't had much success at that. Immediately captured at your first skirmish.
So, Perugia kept me off the battlefield for a year. What of it? Glory delayed, but not denied.
You take defeat lightly, my dear Francis.
Do I look defeated, my love?
Do I?
Felicia, what's wrong?
I've waited for you for 1 year, Francis.
And I longed for you for every minute of every hour of my captivity.
And yet I've hardly seen you since your return.
Perhaps I should leave you two.
No, Bernard, wait. I have great news to announce, and you both must hear it. The war with Perugia was a disappointment, yes, but it was also nothing. There is no glory in fighting your neighbor. There is a real enemy that threatens us from far away, and that enemy really does need to be defeated. That is where the glory lies. I'm going to go and fight him. I'm going to go off into the east to join the crusade. I am going to be a knight.
No, Francis, you can't do this to me.
I'm doing it for you, Felicia. I'm not yet worthy of you to be my lady. I will make you the great lady you deserve to be, but there is one other lady I must have first. Lady Victory.
Francis, I've had enough of you and your ladies.
I had a dream last night. I saw her. Lady Victory herself.
Ooh, what did she look like?
A beautiful woman, like yourself, in a castle whose walls were covered completely with weapons and tools of war of every variety. You see, it was an omen. It can only mean that my fate to win glory is sealed.
It is only your vanity.
Felicia, when I return a true hero, crowned with glory, you will be proud of me. Then I will truly have won the honor of your hand. I will have a castle and make you my princess.
Princess?
Queen!
And what if you do not return? And what if I do not wait?
Of course, I will return. Tell her, Bernard.
Tell her what?
Tell her that I'll return. She needs to hear from the both of us.
Francis.
Bernard, you know how important this calling is. You work for the bishop.
It is true that the bishop has begun to recruit knights to serve the Pope. But I never thought that you...
That I would fight for the Pope? You are right. I would never do that. I'm simply going off to claim the destiny that is obviously mine. The Pope and his schemes do not matter.
Ha! You mock the church just like your father.
I don't even care about the church to mock it. But I like how she makes good soldiers.
She has not made one of you yet.
Bernard, you are the bishop's squire, but I know you do not take the church any more seriously than I do.
Francis, do you take anything seriously?
He takes himself seriously.
Bernard, Felicia, let us not fight one another. Tonight is not a night for long faces. We're here to celebrate, not to wring our hands like old women. I acquired a suit of armor today.
You bought a suit of armor.
I didn't buy it, actually. An old knight was riding by and he gave it to me. He gave me his own armor. It's mine, you see? Another good omen, armor. I'm telling you, I am invincible. To my fair lady and her riches and gold, and to the weapons upon the stone walls cold. I sing you verily, my glory is foretold as I leave again more courageous and more bold.
Tell him we need 2 more cows and that the wine press is in need of repair. It should really be replaced. I'm amazed it can crush even 1 grape, let alone enough to keep our cellar stocked.
2 cows?
Yes, 2. Are you deaf?
But only one of our cows have gone dry.
What if another goes dry? What then? These noblemen think they can give everything to us piecemeal. Now run along.
Yes, Mother.
Now, my child, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I don't mean to neglect you, but I'm very busy today and do not have time to meet with you at the moment.
When can you meet with me?
Well, it depends. What is this concerning?
I would like to join the order.
Oh. Why didn't Sister Maria tell me that?
Because I didn't tell her. I wanted to talk to you directly, Mother.
Yes, I understand. Many people want to talk to me directly. When you run a large convent, everyone wants to talk to you directly. But sometimes, even the bishop has to wait his turn. There is a proper way of doing things in the religious life, and that begins at the beginning.
I want to give my life to God. Isn't that a good beginning?
Of course, my child. I am certainly not questioning your desire. You would obviously not be here if you were not serious. But why are you here alone?
Because there is only one of me.
But where is your father?
He is at home.
Why is he not here with you?
Because he is not joining the convent.
My child, who is your father?
Favorino Schifi.
Oh, good. Very good, very, very good. This is good. And you are?
Claire.
Claire, I'm so pleased you're here, of course. Now, Claire dear, if you want to join the religious life, and I'm absolutely certain that God is calling you to do just that, you understand that your father will have to come and present you, as it were. and we will be very, very happy to receive you. Have you talked with him about this?
Not yet, but my parents know. They know I love God.
Of course they do. It is obvious. But you can't just run off and join a convent because you love God. It would be irresponsible. And it would be irresponsible of us to take in every young lady who knocks on our door. As I say, there is a proper way of doing things. I will need to speak to your parents, and I will have no trouble at all, believe me, no trouble at all, explaining to them that you have a calling to the religious life. And they will be thrilled, of course, thrilled. But before we can receive you, they will have to make certain arrangements.
Arrangements? What arrangements?
Your father will have to provide for you.
But I will be leaving his household and joining God's. My father no longer will have to take care of me.
My child, Claire, you have to think of it like a marriage. When a young noblewoman is given in marriage, her father is expected to pay an endowment. Now, since you are in effect marrying the church...
He has to pay you?
That is not the way to look at it.
Why do you expect my father to pay you to take me?
My child, a convent has certain expenses that do not pay for themselves.
What about poverty? Don't you take a vow of poverty?
We do, child. Of course we do. But a vow of poverty is not about to become beggars. We have to support not only ourselves, but our reputations too. The money will go to make sure we can live with dignity.
Mother, I am sorry to have wasted your time. Perhaps the Benedictines are not right for me.
Wait, my child, wait.
I will wait. I will wait for God, but I will not wait here.
Here you are, sir. It's simple, I'm afraid, but it's better than what many of your mates are getting.
To me, it is as a palatial suite, Madam Innkeeper. But you may as well know that the days are coming when I will sleep in velvet and silk, trimmed in gold.
You up for an inheritance?
No, only destiny!
Well, until that comfortable destiny gets to you, you have this here instead. Careful of the bed, though, it sags.
How appropriate. I too am sagging from the exhaustion of the day's journey.
You've got a lot worse coming. This is your first night out of Assisi, boy. You've traveled less than a day.
But I am weighed down with a weight of responsibility.
You haven't got any. You're not much more than a foot soldier.
Oh, be quiet. Can't you see I need my sleep?
Yes, your majesty. Hope your sleep makes for pleasant dreams of your own importance.
Pleasant dreams of chivalry. As to bed I go, and sweet soft pleasantries, as away with sleep I flow. What a day. Thank you, Lord, for this bed, and all beds, I'm sure. Wow. Imagine Brother Pine. One day your place will be taken by a lovely Lady Laurel, my symbol of victory. I suppose I should pray. For Mother's sake. All right. Heavenly Father, I thank you for all of my lovely talents that allow me to go on such wondrous adventures as this, and I thank you that I am not a poor, unhappy innkeeper. Amen.
Giovanni. Listen, Francis. Giovanni.
What's going on?
Listen, Francis.
Listen to what? Who's there? What's going on?
Listen. Listen, son of Assisi. Listen, slave of desire.
I am not a slave.
Return to Assisi, Francis.
I am not going back to Assisi.
Back to Assisi. There you will find your lady.
My lady is Victory, and she is not in Assisi.
Listen, Francis.
To who? Who's there? What's going on?
Your lady calls for you, Francis. She will find you. You will find what you are looking for.
I know what I am looking for. My Lady Victory!
Francis, what do you seek?
I told you, I seek glory! I seek glory!
A suit of armor, Francis. You need a suit of armor.
I have a suit of armor! What is this? Sackcloth?
Put on the raiment of your lady.
This cannot be my lady's cloak.
Return to Assisi, Francis.
There is no glory in Assisi!
What do you seek?
I seek glory! I seek my Lady Victory!
Put on your lady's cloak, Francis. Return. A suit of armor.
Return,
Giovanni. Giovanni, return!
Wait to tell her so she will not believe it. She will love to hear this. Yes. Wait to tell her she gets to you. I don't know. She will not believe this.
Katrina, Beto, what's going on?
Marsala, you won't believe it.
What happened?
I'm telling you, you won't believe it. I saw it, and I don't believe it.
I saw it too. I don't believe it either.
What?
Took off all his clothes, right in the middle of the marketplace.
Who took off his clothes?
Francis. Made an utter fool of himself, just so he could make a fool of his father.
Took off his clothes.
I suppose he thought it was poetic.
Took off his clothes.
I told you you wouldn't believe it.
But he didn't just take off his clothes. Why would he take off his clothes?
He has a good heart, even if his head does not seem to work right.
What do you mean a good heart?
He was giving away all his father's finest wools and linens.
Ooh, Bernardone doesn't like anything of his going away for less than the right price.
And nothing is considerably less than the right price.
So you can imagine.
But who was Francis giving it to?
To paupers, who could obviously pay nothing.
They would be the best dressed beggars in Assisi.
I thought his father was gonna skin him alive.
Well, he's got nothing but skin left.
A moment, please. This doesn't make any sense. Why would he just take off all his clothes?
They were having a fairly loud and public argument about it. They had already drawn a crowd. His father, naturally, upbraided him for giving away what was not his to give.
Then Francis said he would give away what was his to give.
But then Bernardone went so far as to say to his son, "You don't have anything of your own. You do not even own the clothes on your back. I paid for them, not used. You cannot even give those away."
And the brash lad said right back to him, "If these clothes are yours, then take them."
And off they came.
To the crowd's great delight.
And to the great shame of the house of Bernardone.
Then what?
He just walked away.
Who?
Francis.
His father just stood there.
He just walked away.
What's nothing?
What do you suppose came over Francis to do such a thing?
It was not just one thing, it was several. First, giving away his father's goods. Then, giving away the clothes off his back.
It was bold, even if it was Well, it was insane.
What's Bernardone gonna do?
What can he do?
He got his clothes back, but he lost his son.
He just took off all of his clothes.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Like,
Why would he just take off his clothes?
I know.
Here, smell this one.
Like a spicy lily.
Lilies aren't spicy.
But if a lily was spicy, that is what it would smell like.
Maybe. And this one?
Ew, it's awful! Oh, it is awful. Terrible.
It can't be a perfume. But Papa brought it from Paris.
I don't think so. But if he did, maybe it's used to kill rats. Give me a new one.
Here.
Much better. Not a flower, a pear blossom.
A blossom is a flower.
But it's more like a fruit than a flower. I wonder what Claire would say.
You know she does not like perfume.
But she likes flowers. Perfume is like a flower in a bottle.
Claire would only be attracted to prayer in a bottle.
Enjoying the perfumes, young ladies?
Oh, Papa, they're so wonderful.
Except this one.
What is this doing here? I hope you didn't smell this one.
We did. We're not poisoned, are we?
No, but I'm glad I didn't put any of it behind your ear. Because we'd have had to lock you up in a room for about 3 weeks until the foul odor went away.
Locked in a room for 3 weeks? Maybe Claire would have liked that one.
Did you get that one in Paris too, Papa?
I didn't get any of them in Paris. I did not go to Paris. I was in Venice.
You didn't even go to Paris?
No.
But will you take us to Paris someday?
Leave the French to the Bernadones.
Indeed, what a sad joke the merchant's son turned out to be.
How could a joke be sad?
When it's ridiculous but not funny. I suppose it serves Bernardone right that his son.
Don't crow too early, Favorino, and pray your daughters never cause you the pain Francis has caused his father.
Well, enough of this. Beatrice, go tell your sister to come. We need to speak to her.
Yes, Papa.
Do we have to tell her tonight?
Yes, the sooner the better.
But she is so young. I think she still needs more time alone.
She spends too much time alone. She's addicted to her loneliness. This will solve 2 problems, hers and mine. Well?
She's not there.
What?
Where is she?
I don't know.
Did anyone see her leave the house?
I didn't.
Ask the servants.
Where could she be?
In a church.
Or a convent.
Don't even. Claire, where were you?
At the marketplace.
Claire. At the marketplace?
You were at the marketplace alone?
I have gone alone before.
You didn't see the disgraceful spectacle today, did you?
What spectacle?
Didn't you hear, Agnes? Francis took off all his clothes in the middle of the marketplace this afternoon.
Has he gone mad?
Apparently.
Did you see it, Claire?
I did not see it. I heard about it.
Well, I'm right about that. We have something important to tell you.
Does it have to be right now? I would rather please go
No,
to
you're not going to him, and yes, it has to be right now.
Favorino, maybe tomorrow is better.
Do I have you both running from the truth?
the truth.
Claire, I've just returned from Venice. I've met with a noble family that has ties to this region. We have decided it would be best for both of us if our families made an alliance. The Fontini family has a son, Antonio.
No. No, Father, please no. You cannot do this to me.
You must understand, Claire. This is what is best for the entire family. He's a fine man. He will be an excellent husband. And he would love you very much. How can he not? You'll be a perfect wife and mother.
Father, you have 2 other daughters. They are both more beautiful than I am. They would both make better wives than I will.
And I can't wait to be married, Papa. I want to fall in love and marry the handsomest man on earth and have children.
Hush, child. Your sister is poisoning your thoughts.
And for them, marriage is poison. Then why is it not poison for me?
They are still too young. They'll be married in due time. But we cannot wait for them. This alliance must be made now. What is wrong with you, Claire? You have always known it.
Father, it's no good. I am already in love with another man.
Who? Who has stolen your heart?
Is this why you are at the marketplace today?
No, it is not why I was at the marketplace.
Who is it?
You know him. He hangs there on that cross.
Silly girl, you cannot love God the same way you love a man.
But I do, and I am never happy except when I am with him. If you make me marry, you will make me miserable.
You can still love Christ and be married. Or do you suppose I do not love my husband and love our Lord?
No one can serve 2 masters.
Enough! In all your piety, you have seemed to have forgotten about the commandment about honoring your father and mother. You may dislike our decision, but we know what is best for you and for the family. You will have to learn to put prayer in its proper place. Antonio Fontani will be here in 2 days. You had better prepare to meet your betrothed.
Oh dear, how clumsy of me.
Agnes, what the devil have you done?
Claire, go to your room. No one can stand you.
I certainly hope this won't be off-putting to Antonio Fontani.
Are you crazy? He won't be able to get near her for...
Well, you said that a drop of that stuff behind the ear would mean she'd have to be locked in a room for 3 weeks. I'm afraid I spilt enough on her to keep her there for 3 months.
Stones! Do you have a stone, please? Excuse me, sir, could you spare a stone? A stone, please. Could someone give me a stone? Madam, a stone?
A what?
Do you have a stone you could give me?
Do I look like I'm carrying on stones with me?
I'm sorry to have bothered you.
What do you need a stone for?
Oh, the church of San Damiano. It is crumbling to pieces. I am rebuilding it.
Here, buy yourself a stone.
Thank you, madam. The Lord bless you. Stones! Please, anyone who can spare a stone. Thank you, my lady. You are very kind.
Am I your lady?
Felicia.
You once pledged to marry me.
That was another man. I am not that man anymore.
This is how you betray a woman, by claiming to be someone else.
But I really am someone else. You can't see that, can't you?
Francis, what has happened to you?
Christ told me to rebuild his church, and now you have helped me to do it by giving me a stone.
I always knew I would lose you.
But now you have found me. And you can find what I have found.
Still the weaver of words. Why don't you sing for your stones, Francis? And the world will bring a mountain to you.
Stones, please! Anyone who can spare a stone. Stones, a simple gift for God. A stone, sir?
What are you doing?
Please, sir, stones. For the church of San Damiano, it is crumbling and needs to be rebuilt.
A beggar for rocks. This is what my son has become.
I'm not your son, sir. God is my father.
What kind of God leaves a man scrounging for rubble?
The God who loved the world so much that he gave his son to die for it.
You pathetic, miserable little wretch.
Oh, sir, I am not miserable. You are looking at a happy man. You are the one who seems to be unhappy.
How dare you!
I am happy rebuilding the church.
Let the church rot and you along with it!
You cannot even spare a stone?
I will give you a stone.
If you would rather give me a coin to buy a stone.
You fiendable boy. I'm going to knock a sentence back at your head!
Stop! Let that man go!
Bernard, do not interfere. This man is getting the punishment he deserves!
Master Bernardone, I expected better things from you. Francis is ill.
Step aside, Bernard!
No, you will step aside, and you'd best be gone, or you will be the one punished, Bernardone.
Who do you think you are, talking to me that way?
Many years working in the bishop's office has paid its dividends. I'm a viscount now, and you thereby owe me the respect of a nobleman.
What do you plan to do with Francis when I'm gone? Let him run amok, causing havoc, and steal like a gypsy?
I plan to do nothing, Pietro. I do not see any evidence that Francis is dangerous. But either way, it is not your concern. Bernardone, go now! Francis, I hope I wasn't too late.
Bernard, my friend, you're so emotional. I'm all right. I just need...
Francis, you need help. You need a lot of help. What has come over you? Why did you let him beat you?
I wanted stones, Bernard. He was not going to grant me any without a few hard knocks to go with them. See, look. He left me a stone.
see you've not lost your good humor, but you seem to have lost everything else. Your home, your family, and your mind. What happened to you, Francis?
I had some time alone with God. Only God, nothing else.
And did God talk to you, Francis?
Why, yes, he did.
And what did he say?
He said to me what he has said to everyone in the words of his Son. There are 2 commandments, and if we love God and love our neighbor, we will follow every other commandment. And so I have taken to the streets, living with my neighbors, the beggars, loving them as I love myself, and treating myself the same.
I thought that the commandment meant treat others as you would wish to be treated. Not treat yourself worse than others so that they will feel better.
Bernard, everyone keeps telling me what the gospel means, but everyone seems to ignore what the gospel actually says. Well, why would the gospel not say what it means?
Because
it is actually easier to obey the gospel than to explain it.
But you should not have let yourself take such a beating. That cannot be what the gospel means.
You're wrong, my friend. To fight back would have been to rob myself.
Rob yourself?
Rob myself of a blessing. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Humility, poverty, this is the blessed life.
You are living the Beatitudes literally?
I'm only taking Christ at his word. It is a simple rule.
I still don't understand what happened to you, Francis. What about your quest for Lady Victory?
Oh, I found her. In Lady Poverty.
Insane.
The first shall be last. The last shall be first. I suppose the world would find that insane, Bernard. But I tell you, poverty, it frees a man.
I've never heard of such a thing.
But now you have, old friend. Think upon it. Does your wealth benefit you to eternal life? And can it gain you greater happiness than I now feel?
You are a bloody mess, dressed in filthy rags. And you are telling me how happy you are.
Bernard, what makes you think that virtue is complicated?
I must be going, Francis.
May God go with you, Bernard.
Thank you, Francis.
Bernard.
Yes?
Can you spare a stone?
You smell much better. Thank you, Agnes. I'm sure I don't, but I've gotten quite used to it.
The truth is, I put some spicy lily under my nose just before I came in here. It's quite manageable. Have you been enjoying your time alone? It's been more than 3 weeks.
Why did you do it, Agnes?
Why did I anoint you? To save you, at least temporarily.
Father must still be furious with you.
And yet, life goes on. The Skeefy family still survives without an alliance with the Fontani family.
Father will never accept my decision not to marry.
And you will never accept his decision that you will marry. A fine confusion of devils.
Agnes!
It's just an expression. You don't have to be so literal.
But words are important. They should not be wasted, even on colorful expressions.
I disagree. I think colorful expressions are very good use of words.
Forgive me, Agnes. You have a good heart. And I know you did not come to my room just to hear me lecture.
You never lecture, Claire. You don't waste your words.
Beatrice, I did not expect that you would come to see me.
You smell much better.
Did you use the spicy lily?
No, the pear blossom.
It was very sweet of you both to come, but it really was not necessary. I've been doing very well alone.
As we suspected.
Did we interrupt your prayers?
No, not at all.
You mean you weren't praying?
Well, of course I was praying.
Then how could we not have interrupted?
St. Paul tells us to pray without ceasing. So even now, I am praying.
You can pray while you're talking to us?
Yes.
So, how do you think God will solve your problem?
We no longer have the stink strategy. Papa took away that bottle.
Have you thought about running away?
Yes, I have. But you can't run away and join a convent, because convents don't take runaways.
Nor should they. Entering a religious order is not supposed to be running away from anything. It means running towards something.
But that is the life for you, Claire. We must find a way.
Is there any news about Francis?
He was in the marketplace the other day.
He had clothes on this time.
Well, rags.
What was he doing?
He was begging for stones.
For stones?
Yes, he said that he needed them because he's going to rebuild the church at San Damiano.
Is he still estranged from his family?
He seems to be estranged from everyone.
He's living a very solitary life. Except, well, the animals seem to gather around him. Even the birds seem to like him.
I think he attracts more flies than birds.
He spends the most of his time in the fields. He sleeps under the stars. He calls the sun his brother and the moon his sister.
He acts as if he's never seen a flower before.
That sounds like the best way to see a flower.
Claire, why are you so interested in Francis? If he's not a madman, he's a rogue. He's left a long trail of broken hearts behind him.
There was once a troubadour named Francis, but that is not the man dressed in rags. There are no more women seeking his attention, nor is he seeking theirs.
But he certainly seems to have your attention.
Francis, what are you doing up so late? You look half dead.
Bernard. What are you doing here?
I came to see you.
Why?
I have been in the church all day, Francis, praying.
That is very good to hear, my friend, but surely you did not need to come out to tell me this tonight.
No, Francis. I do not come to brag. I come to plead with you.
Plead?
You and I are friends since childhood, Francis. But tonight, I come to you not as a friend, but as a lost soul.
But why come to me? If you are having a crisis in your faith, go to a priest. I am only another soul looking for salvation.
They do not have what I am seeking, Francis. A few weeks ago, you told me about your way of life, how free and peaceful it is. Since then, I've been able to find no joy in anything. In my title, in my wealth, and all the pleasures we always used to share together. Your words about the gospel echo in my head, and I see your joy in every beggar on the street.
If I have caused you anguish, my friend, I am sorry. I very much hope you do find Christ's love to help you through your troubles.
Francis, you don't understand.
Apparently, I don't. Why are you here?
To join you. I want to give away everything and join your way.
My way?
I've seen your work, and it is beautiful. I wish to join you.
Bernard, there is nothing to join. I am not recruiting anyone.
You've chosen to live the life of the gospel. I want to live it with you. I want to be free like you.
Lord, what have you done? I wish only to serve you. Why did you drop him in my path?
Francis?
My friend, when I told you about this way of life, I only hoped that you would realize that this is Christ's way, and to begin to live in the Beatitudes. I never meant that you should come to me, or that I should be the one who... Bernard, please go away. You must let me pray about this.
Francis.
Please leave me, Bernard.
But I brought you another stone.
Francis,
Yes, dear one.
why do you call us that, Francis? We are beggars. We are lepers.
You are made in the image of God. How could you not be dear to me?
You are surely a saint, Francis.
That is surely what I am not, dear one.
You have made the unclean feel clean.
I've done but little.
You do so much more than anyone can do.
Please stop, Lucia. You speak as if...
Francis, I know you have no food or money, and you gave to me what you begged from them hours ago. But there are others here who are hungry. Since you are a saint, perhaps you... No. Surely you can take a stone and make into a bit of bread?
Lucia, please. I am a sinful man. I cannot ask God for such a thing. It would be blasphemous. It was the devil who tempted Christ to turn stones into bread.
You can ask God, Francis. You can. There was no one else God will listen to.
Lucia, please. I am not worthy. You're only going to be disappointed if you...
Haven't you always said God provides for the faithful, Francis?
Almighty Father, who is mightier than the shakings of Brother Stone, more brilliant than Brother Fire, more gentle than the calm of Sister Water, who answers our entreaties with love even before we ask. Please, your daughters are hungry, and I have no food nor money. I pray, please send me something, if only a small piece of bread. You can even change this stone to bread if you desire. I pray, please, anything at all.
Francis.
Bernard!
Francis, I've come to...
Have you any food or money, Bernard?
Yes?
Have you any?
Oh, for her. I...
Francis, your prayers answered. I knew it. I knew it.
Bernard, what are you doing? Have you lost your mind? Put your clothes back on. You'll freeze.
No, Francis. I'm only doing as you have done. I'm never again putting on the trappings of wealth. I'm rejecting it. All its pleasures, all its comforts.
Bernard, I told you not to come back to me.
Francis, I disobey you only because I must obey God. I've been called, Francis. Your life is all I want now. I wish to live the life of Christ, the life you have chosen to live. Please, Francis, please let me join you.
Lord, help me. Where are you leading me? Bernard, you have heard the call of Christ. Who am I to get in your way?
You will take me, Francis?
Wherever we go, we will go together. But let us begin our journey first by entering that church and praying for guidance as our Father sets us on a new path. Look at yourself, Bernard. You really have seen that a rich man cannot obey my Lady Poverty, so you've let yourself be enriched.
I give it all to God and his children. Come, my friends, come. Take whatever you wish, it's all free.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh.
What are you trying to do? Start a riot?
Friends, Take whatever you want. It's all free.
You stupid monks, you cannot just throw riches to beggars. You cannot let lepers defile such expensive clothing. This is not proper.
We are not monks. We have no monastery.
Then find a monastery and get off the streets.
Brother, why are you so angry?
I'm not your brother. I want nothing to do with you. I labor hard for my money and I expect others to work for theirs.
And I labored for my money. And now I have done just as I pleased with it, which is to give it all to the children of God. And now I am reveling in the joy of seeing myself freed of it.
Do you mock an honest man?
Mock you? Friends, there's no greater joy than being fully dependent on God. No greater freedom either.
But there are other good uses for your money.
It is not mine anymore. I've given it all away. I've just now become a brother of Christ and of Francis.
You're two idiots!
3.
What?
You're saying Christ is an idiot too.
You don't mock me!
You wish to strike my other cheek as well?
Stop this! Stop trying to pour all this wretched guilt over me!
We've not given you your burden. We've only shown you how to be rid of it.
I have no burden. I have my honor. And you have insulted it. And you will apologize for insulting me. Apologize! Apologize or I'll strike you down like a dog here in the streets. Why don't you speak? Have you bewitched him into talking for you?
I did not tell him what to say.
But he is speaking madness. He has just thrown away all his money. And you have let him. Stop it! Stop this!
He does not want money.
But everyone wants money.
Dear. Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Is this what makes you happy? Is this your honor?
But you're a man just like me. You want money too.
Do you need more of it? How many more do you need to make you happy? If you think money is what makes you happy, only one coin is heavy enough to make you sink into hell. You cannot serve God and mammon.
No. No, what's happening? The ground is crumbling beneath my feet. Save me, please save me.
I cannot save you.
Please, sir. My name is Leo Di Tevasisi. I am a miserable sinner.
Why are you telling me your name? Why are you kneeling? I am not a priest.
Please, sir, your words, they've shamed me. You said the word hell, and I saw my own damnation.
Bernard, explain to this man that I am not who he thinks.
Francis, don't you see? He only wants what I want. He wants to join us.
To join? But we do not even know that it is God's word that there be two of us.
Francis, I have joined you. Now already another comes with the same desire. Were you not about to lead me into God's house to ask for his guidance?
Please, sir, I want to follow you.
Follow Christ.
You are following Christ. Take me with you.
You want to be a beggar?
I want to live as you do.
Lord, can I never be a slave? Why do you make me a leader? Leo. Follow me, my brothers. Let us find what God has for us. Lord of heaven, earth, sky, and sea, Lord most holy, mighty in thy persons three, Lord of my Lady, all that is and will be. Guide me, Lord, pity and guide me. Jesus said to him, if you would be perfect, go. Sell what you possess and give to the poor. Then you will have treasure in heaven. And come, follow me. Jesus sent them out to preach the kingdom of God and to heal, and said to them, take nothing for your journey. No staff, nor bag, nor bread, nor money. And do not take 2 tunics. Jesus told his disciples, if any man would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul? Such is our rule. Let us swear to obey it just as it says. Pray with me, my new brothers. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace.
Greetings, our sons from Assisi. You have come a great distance to see us, but this is all very unusual. What made you think we would grant an audience without a proper appointment and an introduction from your bishop?
Your Holiness, we are very, very grateful you have agreed to see us. We are honored to be in your presence.
Tell us why you are here.
We come to seek your approval.
Our approval? If you obey God, you do not need our approval. If
Yes.
you disobey God, you will not get our approval.
Yes, of course, Your Holiness. We seek your approval for a new religious order.
A new religious order? And is there something wrong with our existing religious orders that you cannot join any of them?
I do not know how to answer that question, Your Holiness. I only know the community we formed seems to be distinct from other orders. We did not mean for it to happen. We did not mean for it to become an order. It simply has turned out that way.
Turned out that way. Have you given as much thought to the precepts of this new order as you have given to the selection of your habit?
I only know this, Your Holiness. We have been living in a community and following a single rule for many months. And the community continues to draw in new followers.
What is your single rule?
We live as the gospel tells us to. We go out into the streets, serve the poor, feed the hungry. We help the afflicted, the sick, the outcast. We comfort the dying.
And you hold all your goods in common?
Your Holiness, we own nothing.
What do you mean when you say you own nothing?
We mean it as it is said, Your Holiness. We never touch money.
But surely you own land enough to support yourselves with food and house your community?
No, Your Holiness. We own no land. We live in simple shelters that we construct outside of churches that are kindly towards us. We beg for what meals we eat and what food we give to others. We only use what is freely loaned to us. And the only clothes we own are these habits, as you call them.
And your prayer life?
We pray all day long.
You are hermits who live in community. You are monks without a monastery.
It is, as you say, Your Holiness, but we simply call ourselves friars.
Your rule then is poverty?
Yes, Your Holiness. We live by the words of the gospel, literally.
It is remarkable to hear of such a thing, but how did this come about?
Our founder had a great conversion of the heart. He was once a very worldly man, but was inspired to take the word as his own. One by one, the rest of us joined in, and we followed him. And now we all live by the gospel.
You are not the founder then?
No, Your Holiness. I am only the chosen spokesman for my brothers.
The founder is not here?
Your Holiness, he is here.
We wish to speak to him. Tell us your name, my son.
It is Francis, Your Holiness.
Francis? What kind of a name is that?
It is a foolish name, Your Holiness. And I am a foolish man.
Tell us how you decided to start a new order.
Your Holiness, please do not force me to speak. I am not worthy to look into the face of the Vicar of Christ.
You have a highly unusual view of holiness. We admire your faith, your fervor. We believe you are sincere in your desire to serve God. But what you are proposing, it seems too extreme, too radical, too impractical. We fear that such corporeal mortification borders on an Albigensian hatred of the physical.
We love the physical world, Your Holiness. We respect all of God's creation. We only disdain of wealth and things that are not of God. We are happy in our poverty. It is the happiness that Christ promised us when he said, "Blessed are the poor."
Your simple rule is too simple. It is a hard rule that would be easy to abuse. It is a safe rule that is too dangerous. You need to meditate on it more. You need to make provision for the complications that come with the religious life. We are deeply sorry, but we cannot give you what you came here to seek. We cannot give approval for this new order. That must be our decision. Go back to Assisi, little brothers. Pray you do not enter into temptation.
But shortly after they left, they were called back to Rome.
Who called them back?
The Holy Father himself. He sent a messenger after them and bid them return.
Why? He made his decision. It was very clear.
What made him change his mind? He had a dream.
A dream? Francis and his followers are the dreamers.
His followers, you say? His followers practically dragged him to Rome in the first place. Brother Leo did all the talking. His brothers made him their leader, but out of all of them, he is the first follower.
And
he is only trying to follow Christ.
And yet the Pope turned them away.
But he called them back again.
Because you say he had a dream?
What was the dream about? He dreamed that the Church of the Lateran was on the verge of collapsing. It was about to fall over, but one man was holding it up. One man was preventing it from falling. One little friar dressed in rags. Francis. Francis.
Claire, everyone in Assisi thought Francis was a fool. No one took him seriously. Now the Pope has done just the opposite. He's taken him too seriously.
There are people who think the Holy Father is a fool. That is nothing new, and it never will be new. What is new is that a troubadour, a soldier, a vainglorious merchant's son walked away from the world and is absolutely unafraid to be a fool for Christ. What is new is that someone we know has finally taken Christ seriously.
Claire, you cannot stop thinking about Francis.
He has what I want.
He has nothing.
That is what I want.
Most high, all powerful,
Lord, you who are in everything, in the howling of the wind on Brother Mountain, and in the silence of Sister Snow, my Lord, guide me, guide me. Hear my prayer. I am not an old man, but I have seen the end of all things. The creation of the earth and the heavens, the rainbow above the ark, the coming of the beast. I was a broken man. You destroyed what was left. I was empty. You echoed in my emptiness. I was alone. You filled my solitude. I was blind. And in my darkness, you were there. Now guide me, Lord. I do not fear death, Lord, nor torment, nor loneliness, but I am weak, and so I still fear, Lord. I fear I may lose my Lady Poverty. She is my pearl of great price. But even as I have sought to serve you through her, to follow you to places I never expected or wanted to go, I fear I may lose my way. I fear I may not become the man you want me to be. I fear that I have not suffered enough with you, dear Lord. I am ready to die for you, but I fear I have not suffered as you have suffered in your love for us. Show me your way, Lord. Make me an instrument.